I'm like pacing at the front of this gated government building. And I'm just like trying to work up the nerve to just trespass and go for it. To go catch a Pokemon.
It's time to get wild.
That was wild. Welcome to That Was Wild. My name is Adam Macias, and this episode is going to be wild. This is the show where I talk to my very wild friends about their wild stories, about the wild things happening in the world, and we try to have a wild time while doing it. I'm Adam Macias. I love me a good wild story. And yeah, I've gone viral on the internet a few times talking about wild stories and some crazy wild news, but that's not important today because this guest this week, we just did something. It's a That Was Wild first. We had a pre-hang before this episode at a nice restaurant for his podcast, which is called Fine Dining, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. It's Michael Ornelas, everybody.
Hope for applause.
Yes, there's applause happening.
I
Everybody,
hear it. Calm it down.
Yes.
Calm it down.
And he's rocking a burger champion, Septemburger wrestling belt right now for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason whatsoever. I am basically announcing and promoting the fact that on my show, you know, I'm looking for the most mediocre restaurant, but for 1 month of the year,
yes,
the month of my birth, September, I want to look for the best of something, not the most mediocre. So I got a championship belt made up for Septemburger, which is my annual single elimination March Madness style burger competition.
Nice.
8 burgers enter, 1 burgers leave.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be in a weird energy because we just ate a lot of food and I'm staving off a coma.
We just ate like 2 heathens who are trying to make like a weird Hollywood deal in the middle of Pasadena.
You just kept ordering. I was like, all right, we want this entree, and like, yeah, we'll try dessert. And you're like, but what about these 4 appetizers?
First off, it's my birthday, the day we're recording this.
Happy birthday!
And I wanted to thank you. And I wanted to go to a nice restaurant for your podcast.
Well, I think the other one I offered you was Panera.
Yeah, Panera or Houston's, which I think is fine to say for the show. Yeah. We could preview that, which is a nice Hawaiian fusion place. I will say that Michael said he was going to tell the server it was my birthday, but he never did, which is totally fine.
Literally, when you said your birthday just now, I was like, oh, I forgot about that. But they did comp our dessert anyways.
We did get a free brownie, which was great. But all that to say, everybody should go check out Michael's podcast. It's a very cool podcast, which I will be appearing on very soon.
August 7th, August 14th. Those will be our Houston's episodes.
Look at that planning. So many things to talk to you about.
Yeah.
First thing I got to ask, Septemburger.
Yep.
Right? What do you guys do on a September 11th for that month?
I definitely never forget. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I actually think I have a September
11th.
Is it a Wednesday this year?
It's Wednesday. It's always Wednesday in my mind.
Well, the famous one was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I'll remember that day because I have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the slogan, it's the only tragedy we've given a slogan to.
That's true.
September 11th, never forget. Like, what are we selling? T-shirts?
Yeah. Well, 4th of
July, fuck your taxes.
What's some other ones? Tiananmen Square.
This didn't happen.
Yeah. Tiananmen Square. Drop your groceries at home.
Tiananmen Square, the inspiration for DoorDash or Instacart. Yeah.
Literal DoorDash. Anyways, tell us about your podcast.
Yeah. So I've been to I think this was the 78th restaurant I've been to in the run of my podcast. And I'm looking to kind of take back the notion of mid.
You're owning mid again.
Yeah, I'm trying to own it because people they'll say something's mid as an insult. And I'm like, it literally means it's neutral.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
But people want to live a mid life.
I get that.
Yeah.
But a lot of us are. We may not want to look in the mirror and acknowledge it, but literally by the definition of average, most of us are in the middle.
Is that why your belt has a bit of a mirror? So you're reflecting it on society?
Yeah.
This is you. You're mid.
You're mid. But no, Septemburger is about the best. So I release a bracket.
The best of the mid.
Let's see if I can remember the 8 burger chains that are in this year's.
Okay.
So we've got Shake Shack, Steak and Shake, In-N-Out, Culver's, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, Whataburger, White Castle, and Rallies.
Wow.
So those are the 8 burgers in this year's bracket.
Yeah.
And round 1, who's got the best like basic burger? What your number?
Yes.
I'll take the number 1, please.
Yeah.
Round 2 and round 3, if you advance, specialty burgers, things you're known for.
And this is a competition that we can, as listeners, can submit to. And
you can submit to. So
yeah.
Depending on when this comes out, talk to me. But at linktree.com/fine dining podcast,
yeah.
I will have brackets available. You can fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
They're not due until the first September episode comes out.
Yeah.
So you can actually get 2 freebie answers, but fill out your bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get all 7 matchups correct, you're putting a drawing for $500.
Wow. Okay, cool. I'm going to guess my winner right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be Shake Shack.
Okay. Let's
Shake
see.
Shack's going to take it home.
But you have to get every match correct to win the bracket.
I'm just guessing winner.
You're guessing Shake Shack? I haven't gone yet, so I don't know how it's performed. I've had it before.
I think
but-
it'll be Rallies for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely think it'll be White Castle. You've been to White Castle, right?
So I will say Shake Shack is the number 1 seed and White Castle is the number 8 seed.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I'm saying.
And round 1 versus 8.
Now you should do a competition for. Have you thought about fries? Like a.
Name them the 4th of Jafry.
You're literally right there.
Jafry.
4th of Jafries. Yeah, the best fries easily. So we could do best.
Honestly, there would be too many contenders. Like with burger places, you can limit it to like there are places that are burger places.
Fryuary.
Everywhere has fries.
Yeah.
Fryuary.
Fryuary is good. January jambalaya. You could do like just
Jumbuary.
Jumbuary. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that'll be good. Everybody should go check that out.
Yeah.
We just went to a restaurant.
Much more upscale.
Very upscale. Legitimately very nice. And I'm glad we did. Though we'll talk about it. I don't want to give my rating away because your episode comes out later, but it was good. It was good.
It was good.
Some good food there for sure.
Yeah.
How does that feel to get like to create content that's based off of food? Like, do you feel like you mentioned earlier how you're like, if it's okay to say, your weight fluctuates a little bit because of that?
I mean, even before I was doing a show on food, I'm still going to these places and eating it. May as well make a show about because like
make some content for it.
I'm calling all these restaurants mediocre.
And that's exactly how porn stars think. I'm already fucking.
Yeah.
Might as well make some content.
May as well have a train run on me and film it.
Next time, we should just throw a camera up here. I tell my wife all the time, we should just film this.
We should just make sex tapes.
Yeah, and she's not into it because she's like, trust me, I'm doing you a favor.
You're not as good of a performer as you think you are.
Yeah.
You don't want to see this
Trust
back.
me, you don't want that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be game tape.
I love kind of putting my name in the hat with these restaurants. I am an unapologetic stan of a few chains. Outback Steakhouse, look. Outback, winner 2023 of the first September tournament.
Oh, wow.
Because, I mean, 1, they were the number 4 seed, so 4 or 5.
So a bit of an underdog.
They were positioned to face the most equal footing opponent in round 1.
Yeah.
And that was their toughest round. After that, rounds 2 and 3, you've got the Bloomin' Burger with bloomin' onion petals on it. And round 3, do that, but add bacon. It's just kind of like the bloomin' onion is the perfect appetizer in chain dining.
Yeah.
So like Outback Steakhouse, I genuinely love. So even though I'm calling these places mediocre, I'm just looking for mediocrity. I may not find it.
Would you say that you love mediocrity?
I would say that I accept it and I don't always need the best thing. It's like, when this is going to make me sound sad. This doesn't happen to me a lot, but I understand the mindset.
Erectile dysfunction.
Erectile dysfunction. It's just so mediocre. When you make plans with someone and then they flake because something better came up.
Oh, yeah.
People trying to optimize their life.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Look, I'll do the really cool thing when it pops up.
Yeah.
But I'm fine doing the just baseline standard way I could spend my time. I don't always need to be like hyper stimulated doing the most awesome Instagram worthy lifestyle thing.
When you're not smashing burgers and going to Houston's, what do you like to do?
Like I'm a big pro wrestling fan. I watch.
That's pretty stimulating.
It is.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I was imagining like I just like to sit in a closet and stare into the dark. That would be pretty not stimulating.
I was in Vegas a month ago.
Oh, nice.
For there's a wrestling company called All Elite Wrestling. They're kind of the alternative to WWE. They did a match called Anarchy in the Arena, and in it, a guy got set on fire with a flamethrower. That's not an exaggeration.
What? Is there video of this?
Yeah, it was on pay-per-view.
What?
And I'm there.
Fuck?
I'm literally in the crowd. Look up Jack Perry Double or Nothing Flamethrower. Jack Perry, the son of Luke Perry.
Wait, this Poison? Luke Perry?
Luke Perry from 90210.
Oh my God. That's wild. Okay, here we go. Let's find this video here. Jack Perry has gone too far.
I love how I gave you. I was like, yeah, I like doing the non-overstimulating thing. And then
this
it's
man
like,
was
I
set
just
on
want to watch
fire.
this guy get set.
I was in Vegas and I saw a man set on fire. I could not think of a more entertaining couple of sentences.
Yeah. Literally, he walks out of stage and he's like about to like do something to the CEO of the company, and another guy's hiding behind the ramp with a flamethrower.
Oh shit. Okay, here we
lights
go.
him up.
Okay, so there's a guy.
Yep, Darby Allin. I'll tell you about Darby Allin. You want to talk about wild? If you want the perfect guest for this show, if
Darby
you could
Allin?
get Darby Allin, he lives his life like he just does not care if he lives.
All right, let's see. Let's see how he. I mean, he's clearly trying to kill people. So yeah, he's like a Joker.
We've gone to a different level now.
Is this before?
We've gone to a different
Yeah.
level.
Oh, I see. Oh my God. Holy shit.
That's the clip.
Insane.
Now, later in that match, Darby Allin. So it's a 4-on-4 match. Anything goes. Anarchy.
Does
in the arena.
everybody get fired?
No.
Like flamethrowers?
But Darby Allin gets dragged to the ring by a team called the Young Bucks, who are
Was that the
guys who just
extinguisher
put,
guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're a tag team. They're on a team with Jack Perry right now.
I mean, not a bad. Yeah. Okay.
And so they get Darby Allin in the ring, knock him out, hog tie him around the ankles, and hang him upside down above the ring. So he's like hanging from a cable that's in the rafters. He's like 5 feet off the ground. They just released some like exclusive Reebok shoes.
Yes.
They pull out their own Reeboks and the bottom is covered in thumbtacks, and they double kick him in the face while he's hanging upside down.
What the
Now,
fuck?
Darby Allin did this match because another guy that was supposed to be in it broke his leg on a show. And then Darby Allin was like, I'm out injured with a broken foot, but I want to do this match. And they're like, sure, why not? If you can get a doctor to say you're clear, you can come do this. So he has like a foot that's been broken like 3 months ago. So, it's healing.
Yeah.
And he got hit by a bus for real, like not in wrestling, just out in the world, and broke his nose, which is why he has that mask on.
Holy shit.
And then just does this match.
This is fucking bonkers.
Anyway, so this is the boring stuff I do.
So you're a big wrestling fan.
Big wrestling dork.
You worked for 411 Mania.
411 Mania, yeah.
411, 911, 411.
Sounds like you did forget.
So wait, which was a entertainment news organization, right?
I was just like a wrestling. I would cover like review shows and like occasionally write opinion pieces. And
Did you
stuff.
ever want to be a wrestler growing up?
I never pursued it. I think I would have had a blast, and I think I would have had fun with it in the way that like I enjoy performing these days. It's just like a different way to work a crowd. And I'm willing to do stupid stuff with my body.
You've dressed up as Shrek.
I've dressed up as Shrek for my podcast.
Which is own
I lost
WrestleMania.
a bet.
Yeah.
I lost a bet.
That's what happened. So give us a little bit of backstory on you.
So
you do a podcast,
I
a
do
video
a podcast.
You went to the restaurant as Shrek, and you
Yes.
recorded the podcast as Shrek.
Yes. So
Correct?
why?
Why?
So the previous episode, I went to PF Chang's. I have on the wall behind me in my podcast a giant. When you go to these chain restaurants, they have like wall tchotchkes, and it's like kind of like your room, guitars and surfboards.
It feels like a slam, but okay.
Yeah, and like bull horns and like all that. I've got all of those kind of merged into one big like Frankenstein of a piece. Yeah. And on the surfboard is a big 0 through 10. So it's my scoreboard, my running scoreboard of all the restaurants I've been to.
Okay.
So I finish a place and then I put its logo and its score up on the board called the tchotchke of mediocrity with like the big 5 right there in the middle being the goal. I'm looking for the perfect 5.00 out of 10.
Okay.
I had a guest on who was like quizzing me. He would name a place and I was telling him the scores. And like, I recently took an online test that said, you might be autistic. So like, I am good with numbers. This is real. It was like, you could get it checked further. You don't like definitively, but you might.
Okay, so
I'm good with Rubik's cubes.
I love that autism is the same method of finding out whether or not you're a Jim or a Phyllis, because it's through an online test. Was this through Facebook?
No, it was like
in between games of Mafia in Farmville.
It was like a like a not .gov, but like it was like
EDU org
whatever the medical one was. But yeah, it was like one of those. But it was like through a hospital.
.doc.
And I took this thing, and it was like, yeah, you do experience a lot of symptoms that are usually affiliated with autism.
Okay.
So, I dress in like graphic tees and gym shorts a lot. I like puzzles. There's a lot of signs there.
I mean,
I'm a wrestling fan. We're all autistic.
I love that. Well, good for you. So you use your autism special ability.
I was hitting a lot of them.
Yeah.
So he's like telling me,
Uh-huh.
like, what did Denny score? I'm like 4.50, and I like my eyes roll back.
He threw
and
some matches down.
You see ones and zeros scrolling through my eyes.
You counted all the matches on the ground. And shit.
Yeah. And Shrek had come up earlier in the episode. He's like, dude, I'll fucking bet you that like if you don't know, you have to go to your next place dressed as Shrek. And I was like, I'll take that bet. And then he named like 4 places in a row that I was like, I don't know this one. And I made good on my word. I went to the next restaurant, had some Shrek fist, went to the original Pancake House dressed as Shrek fully.
And what did they say?
They loved it.
They loved it. Is this online? Like, can we see individual footage aside from the podcast of you there?
I mean, I tell the entire story of what happened in the podcast episode. It's a 2-parter.
Everybody should check that out.
If you listen to my part 2, that's what happened at the restaurant. Part 1's always like the history and like Yelp reviews and stuff. So set the table and then eat at it is kind of how I do it.
Nice. So you do a lot of those fun stunts for your speaks, which comes through the wrestling. And
yeah, I don't know if you saw this in my Instagram, but I went to Mastro's Steakhouse for the podcast. And so season 1 of my show, the first year, very different show. I had a co-host, and we wouldn't alternate picking restaurants. We had a game that would determine who would pick next.
Okay.
And if you pick a place and then it scores too far away from mediocre, like less than 4 or more than 6, we would have a bowl that you would draw a punishment from.
Oh.
And I drew a punishment that was like, it's called the You Must Bowl, and it's all you must statements. You have to do this thing.
Okay.
And it was, you must go to the next restaurant dressed however your co-host tells you to.
Oh, okay.
Or it was like made out of whatever. He's a Pokemon card. So I have a suit made out of Pokemon cards, and I went to Mastro's Steakhouse in this suit that like doesn't bend.
Wait, do we have pictures of that somewhere on your Instagram?
Yeah. It's on my Instagram, or it's kind of far back there.
Okay.
So
you went to this podcast, or went to the Mastro's, which is a very famous LA nice restaurant, steak restaurant.
Like it has a dress code, and you have to wear a suit. And I was like, am I going to get kicked out? This is technically a suit.
Let's see this thing. Oh shit. That is actually not that bad looking.
No.
Actually, oh wow. Wait, so where did you get this suit?
There's a girl I went on like 3 or 4 dates with from OkCupid that is like a seamstress in Hollywood.
Wow.
And I hit her up years later.
Wow. Damn, slanging some serious D if she's willing to give you that 3 years later. Jesus.
So I was just like, hey, I know dating didn't work out, but would you like to do something professionally collaborating?
Listen, I don't want to make any stereotypes about autistic people. But if I had to guess what would their dream suit would be, it would be a Pokemon suit. That and train, like as a train conductor, I think.
Do you just assume autistic people love trains?
Yeah, it's a big open mic joke.
I just wear that and I'm just choo choo, all aboard.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! This is amazing. And so did you pay? I'm assuming you paid her for it. Was this?
Yeah.
Do you still have this thing?
Uh-huh.
You didn't have a suit available.
There's like a hole in the back from my sweat. Like it's made of paper.
Oh, this not even plastic protected.
There's like a layer of, I think it's like a vinyl or something that the cards are attached to. And you can look at like the elbow. Like there's an elbow crease there. It looks like a raincoat with cards on it.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully there weren't any rare ones.
There's one holographic on the sleeve.
Do you think, like she made this, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's not a Pokemon fan.
No, I gave her
all of your cards.
A shoebox full of my cards.
Oh, your cards.
And was like, don't use any holographic ones.
What'd you put on the crotch?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I genuinely, I just don't know.
Squirtle.
Dumb. That was a dumb joke you just made. You took the low-hanging fruit and you hit it out of the park.
I don't know any other Pokemon. I love it.
The valet hated me.
So you showed up without it on, which is a move, I guess, because you didn't want to ruin it in the drive.
It was a drive, and I can't drive with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like it's about to fall apart right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, it looks pretty solid, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You're being pretty rough with this thing. You're actually having like kind of a bit of a trouble.
My shoe gets stuck.
And it's not falling. None of it is
my
falling
leg's
off.
about to get stuck.
This is pretty fucking crazy.
But yeah, I love committing to stuff like this.
Would you say you're like a big Pokemon fan then?
I have been addicted to Pokemon Go for most of the time since its launch. I probably got out of it for about 5 months in 2016 and then got back into it in early 2017, and it's been full steam ahead since.
So you've literally been this whole time you've been playing it.
Like, I have every shiny available in the game.
Wild.
I have made legend in their PvP ranks all but 2 seasons out of like 18 seasons.
I believe it's coming up. This episode is going to be released on its 8-year anniversary, I believe.
Something like that.
So
I will be in New York for Pokemon Go Fest.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you're like a big Pokemon fan.
I'm a big Pokemon Go player.
And you also have a suit
and
with
also
Pokemon cards.
It's weird because I'm like, I play the game. I don't even know if I'm a fan of a game. I hate the company that makes it. I feel like they actively hate their player base.
Really?
They do so many quality of life punishments. It's not even upgrades.
Quality of life.
Yeah, like, like a QOL upgrade in like a video game where it's like, oh, we made this process smoother.
Oh yeah, then
they do stuff to like punish players.
Then they just apparently upgraded the graphics on it, apparently.
And no one likes it because it's just like, these look like Uncanny Valley weird. There are like some customization things like body type that seems to be well implemented and stuff like that. But
okay.
I don't know. There's just so many things about that game where I was like, you guys clearly don't want players to have fun because they're trying to safeguard from cheaters so much at the expense of having fun from anyone else.
When I think of Pokemon Go, I think of the summer that it was released.
Right, 2016. It was a madhouse.
I would
go to Santa Monica Pier and you would have mobs of people, Dragonite, and you just see what looks like a concert crowd moving in unison to just go stand in a circle on a beach and stare at their phone.
What I think of it, because I had a weird experience where I was on tour for the first time in 2016.
Yeah,
I had I was on tour with a Japanese pop band.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very into Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
They came with not just the band, but they toured with a whole crew of people. Like all of
Jesse, James, all of Team Rocket. This is my boy Giovanni right here.
Yeah, one was Ash Ketchum. The other one was Pikachu. No, but like it was like a crew of 50 people that
Did you get to meet Misty?
No.
Oh man.
I wish. Oh gosh. Totally. No, but it was wild that they were very. I saw them. They were like getting off the plane.
Wild there for branding reasons.
It was wild.
Like you have to keep it in.
I literally, actually, it's something I.
You have a quota?
I literally struggle with it because I like.
Can we
to
get
say,
a counter on screen for this episode?
So, anyways, it was wild. They would literally be getting off the bus and running around trying to catch them, literally catch them all.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, oh, I saw them be more excited about it.
Yeah,
than the people in America. And America was already really excited about it. And this during the time when no one had even caught them all yet.
Japan does not mess around with video game fandoms.
No. Especially, I mean, this is interesting because Pokemon originated.
It's their game.
Yeah. So, any crazy stories with Pokemon Go?
All right.
Sorry, let me read. Any wild stories
with
Pokemon
like crazy. Go? What is this?
I like to say crazier sometimes. Go ahead.
So, in 2017... they introduced raids into the game, which, they had gyms and stuff, but then the gyms would be taken over by a raid boss. And this was how they introduced legendaries into the game.
Okay.
And you have to go fight the legendary, and then if you beat it, everyone who fought it gets the chance to catch it.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's like a World of Warcraft raid into like a dungeon or something.
So this facilitated the social aspect of the game. So there were a lot of communities popping up on Slack and Discord of groups organizing to go fight raid bosses. So this is how you get like, I can know, oh shit, 100% IV, like full stats Charizard just spawned in Glendale and it's there for 25 minutes. I live in Burbank. I can drive there in 10 minutes and go get myself 100% Charizard.
Wow. Okay.
So Slack became this place where I would just be in these different Slack channels that were organized by region. So I'd be in like the Burbank one, the Glendale one, the Sherman Oaks one, most spawns last 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So all the places that I could drive within 30 minutes,
Oh.
I would be in their maps.
Okay.
And if a Pokemon spawned that had perfect stats that I didn't have and wanted, I would go drive to it. And I mean, I have a bunch of stories about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting that it's Slack. I would have
switched to Discord now.
Okay, good. Because Discord seems like a gamer community thing.
Yeah.
Slack is like where I have to answer
like business.
dumb business questions.
It's funny though, because this was my first time on Slack. So
okay.
when I would tell people Slack and they'd be like, the business app, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is the Pokemon communication app, bro. And so I was in this Slack community and they used to have what was called a wake up channel. And it's for really rare spawns. It was a channel designed to have push notifications for everyone who was in the channel. And when a really rare spawn goes off, you spam the channel so people are getting 200 notifications
and they don't see
in
the
like
original
3 to
one.
5 minutes so you don't miss it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's like, you opt into this channel.
I thought it was the opposite of like they were so competitive that they wanted to be the only one, so they would span it to not see the original notification.
No, this was like,
that's what I would do.
This is like, oh shit, 100% Ralts spawn.
So make sure everybody wakes up.
Everyone, wake up, go get it.
I gotcha.
And then I don't know how much Pokemon you played, but do you know the Pokemon Unknown?
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's shaped like a letter. There's 28 versions of it. They're A through Z and then a question mark and an exclamation point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a big part of one of the movies.
Okay.
And Unknowns were just arbitrarily super rare. And they would, like, what letter they were would spawn randomly. And some letters were even rarer than others. And collecting all 26 seemed like an impossibility. So when any of them spawned, you'd get a wake-up notification.
Gotcha.
And people would be spamming it.
Uh-huh.
And you could be in the middle of dinner. You could be at a movie.
Yeah.
The things that I have
Taking
walked out on
to
go catch a Pokemon.
Date?
I was single during this time. No news.
What am I talking about?
Dating this guy when I'm
no big Pokemon
sorry,
Go fan.
I gotta leave this dinner right now. An unknown sea just spawned. All right, so an unknown sea spawned.
Yeah,
and it was in Lake Balboa in a government facility water reclamation plant.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so they're spawning in like restricted access areas?
They spawn everywhere.
Wait, so you could be like Area 51 spawn?
I mean, good luck getting there, but like, yeah, they probably do spawn there.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
We need to figure out which Pokemon Go are spawning in Area 51.
I could probably tell you just the desert biome Pokemon.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's not as crazy as you think.
It could be
it wouldn't be rarer
like
than
a
anything
Mewtwo
else.
or something.
No. So this wake up thing goes off and it's probably 7 p.m. And you live in LA. That doesn't mean there's no traffic.
It's not bad though.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm in my car already in Burbank. And I'm like, all right, I can get to Lake Balboa in 22 minutes according to my map. And this Pokemon despawns in 29 minutes.
Okay.
That means if I drive there right now,
you literally just got.
I have 7 minutes to try and catch it.
You have to like do a GTA 5 and just jump out of the car as it rolls over there.
Pretty much. So I get a ton of notifications. Unknown sea, unknown sea. Unknown sea hasn't spawned yet in the LA area. This is one that's missing from my collection. And I'm probably doing better than most in terms of most complete Pokedex of unknowns. So I'm like, all right, guess my night's plans have changed. I'm driving to Lake Balboa. I don't know it's in a water reclamation plant. I'm not looking at that. I just get the GPS coordinates.
Okay.
So I start driving and I end up at this water reclamation plant, gated facility, security cameras everywhere.
Wild.
It's nighttime, but there's like a parking lot that's probably a 200-foot jog to the front of this facility. But like I can see like on my maps, like the pin drop of where in this facility this Pokemon is. And so I'm like standing, pacing at the front of this gated government building. And there's a security booth with like a mirrored window. Like I can't see in, but like a double-sided window. And I'm certain they're just staring at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I'm just like, trying to work up the nerve
to go in and ask them
to just trespass and go for it. And this gate in front of me has probably 18 inches of clearance at the bottom. It's very easy to,
Oh, wow.
to go under.
Is that even a gate? What is
It
that?
looked like the old 1994 WWF steel cage.
Okay.
Before they made it like the chain link,
Okay. Yeah.
it was
yeah.
like very large, like very easy to climb.
Okay.
Just it looked like a very scalable
Yes.
gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, easy handholds or
Some
whatever.
gates aren't scalable.
You know,
This one, like a wrought iron, can't scale it
right.
unless you got.
And there's no like jagged things at the top. It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
flat edge.
Yeah. It's
You know, at the end of the day, this is just a water plant. This isn't like,
as far as you know.
as far as I know.
Yeah, it could have been like where they housed all the UFOs, and they
Could
just
be.
say it's a, you know,
I mean, what a cover.
what a weird. I mean,
Put minimum security, just like a double-sided booth and like a dude.
there's like a double-sided mirror is weird though.
Yeah.
For a water facility though.
And so I'm just standing here. And like, keep in mind, from the time that I park, it takes me a minute and a half to walk there. So I now have 5 minutes before this Pokemon goes away.
Right.
I have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Do I go in here or do I not?
Yeah. 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 What do you? Of course you're gonna go. Of course you have to go. You drove all that way.
Now, this is like the Tarantino moment where I'm going to cut backwards. This is not just me. This is a community.
Right.
There's other people who want this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So a guy I've never seen before walks up to me from behind and he's like, "You going for it?" And I was like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "Cool." And he just goes under.
Oh shit.
No hesitation.
Nice.
And the security guy walks out and it's a full-on chase. And I'm just watching and I was like, well, the coast is clear.
Yeah,
This
you like
is
there's a
kind of
distraction.
my chance.
That dude was the sacrifice.
There's a decoy.
I love it.
I don't know what happened to him. I never saw him
That
again.
dude was unalived, bro.
He was unalive.
Yeah, that was a government, like he was murdered.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was like
Two bullet holes in the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still nervous. I don't know. Maybe there's a second security guard or like maybe he's about to throw the alarm. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm about to go under and I hear almost like in a 80s movie. Psst, off to, not exaggerating.
Okay.
And there's a group of 5 people looking at their phones all smug like, you going for it? like the bad influences, hey,
Oh, they're smoking cigarettes,
they're
wearing
smoking-
leather jackets.
Oh, they're so cool, but they're bad influences, clearly.
The one's got like a girlfriend that's like on their phone, but not like
Yeah.
into Pokemon. at
Chewing
all.
gum aggressively. Like, yeah.
Mark, I just want to get a milkshake. Can we get out of here?
Basically,
Yeah.
they drive off in their like 50s Chevy or something. Yeah.
It's the gang from Greece.
It's the
Okay.
gang from Greece.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, I want to. They're like, go around. There's a fence over there. And I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, yeah, we climbed it. I was like, okay. So I, instead of going in the front gate,
Yeah.
drop down. It's probably like a 8-foot drop off. And now you're at grass level, like on like basically a what looks like a park along the side of this, stone wall fortress that is a water reclamation plant. And I run probably 150 yards down. And I'm like, okay, it says that the thing it's still in the facility, but it's on the other side of this fence. And I look up and I'm like, this is a 10-foot wall and I'm one guy. They had the benefit of
like hoisting or something like that.
Yeah, of hoisting.
Yeah, yeah. Like a Last of Us. Hey, you jump up there first. I'll catch you.
They sent one person who took all their phones and they helped them get up there. And I didn't have that luxury.
Okay.
And I've got 4 minutes left. And I'll be damned if I didn't drive out to Lake Balboa
Yes.
to not get this unknown.
Of course.
I notice a tree that's like a very skinny, like young tree,
Mm-hmm.
probably 3.5 feet next to to the wall.
Okay.
And I put my back on the wall, my feet on the tree, and I
Nice.
like chimney climb.
You Jackie Chan'd it.
I Jackie Chan'd it up this wall. I get to the top, like the back is behind me, and I'm like, huh, and I kick, and I like Mufasa myself hanging from the wall, pull myself up.
The classic Jackie Chan to
Yeah.
Mufasa. I love it. Yeah.
The JC to the M combo.
Yeah.
I go, jump down, open the game. I see the unknown.
It's right there.
I tap to go try and catch it, throw a ball, wiggle, wiggle. It pops out. And unknowns have a high flee rate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like it may just
That's
run.
the part that I hated. is
It
that-
may run.
Yeah, like you waste all that time And then it's just, you don't even get to catch it.
It popped out 2 times, and then I caught it. Used an Ultra Ball, used of course a golden raspberry.
There you go.
Caught it, and I realized I was so physically exhausted from the climb up that tree that I'm like, I have to climb again to get out of here, which is much easier and lower, like it's lower pressure, but I'm also like, I hope they don't have like a camera that saw me come in. I hope I don't get caught.
I would have walked out the front at that point. Like, you're already there.
I don't have that kind of BDE. I've got ADE. I've got average dick energy.
Yeah, not according to that your ex girlfriend who made the Pokemon suit.
I mean, she wasn't even a girlfriend. I just went on like 3 dates with her.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
still made it. Made an impression.
I broke into the thing, got it, felt like the biggest euphoria rush I've ever had. Leave, and like I feel like I'm walking away from an explosion in like a Michael Bay movie. I was like, I have never been cooler than walking away from this water reclamation plant alone. There's no one to witness this.
Yeah,
but I've got an unknown sea.
The grease mobsters, they weren't cool kids. They already left.
No, they were doing donuts somewhere. They went to Kmart to do donuts.
They went to the Los Angeles levee to drag race.
Yeah.
So you didn't try to explore that? I would have. I mean, I was already.
No, I was too scared of like actually getting caught.
Jesus. Yeah.
I don't know what the consequences are for trespassing on government property, but it doesn't sound.
It's that
not
game is
low.
So crazy because of the fact that it spawns in random places. I worked at the Orange County Fair during that big summer as well. And it would spawn in the most random places. And we worked at kind of like the community band area.
Yeah.
I did some live shows there as like the audio engineer. And sometimes really shitty bands would like Christian metal sort of vibes.
I don't know why you're saying shitty then. Sounds like it rules.
Yeah, so fucking badass.
Can you take me higher?
They would be singing about the devil and the Jesus at the same time.
Yeah.
So they would be getting more people in the audience because whenever I noticed that, I would pull out my Pokemon Go.
Oh, and you'd be like, oh, there's a rare spawn. They don't deserve this crowd.
It was like a Snorlax on stage with them, and I have pictures of it where like they're trying to catch a Snorlax.
And then they just leave after.
They leave mid-song. It was so interesting to see these people who thought they were affecting people with their music, and it really was just kids trying to catch a Snorlax.
Dude, the amount of times that we've had business owners come out and yell at us because we're just congregating playing Pokemon, and they're just like, why are you guys loitering? Like they think you're going to commit a crime.
What is it that makes you so obsessed for it? Like why do you like it so much? Is it the collection part of it?
It's the collection part. I love a thing where I'm like, I have everything.
Okay.
And they keep adding more, and I keep getting it.
And you're not a fan of the card game or any of the other stuff?
I loved it as a kid. I just don't do it now.
But you like the Pokemon. Are you still playing it and stuff? Are you still doing Pokemon? Oh, yeah.
Pokemon Go, yeah.
Of course you are, because you're
going to Go Fest, in like a week and a half.
So it really is just the collection part of it. Are you doing raids, and are you doing like the battles and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So it's all of it.
Like I've finished a season on the leaderboard. Like I'm in the top like 0.1% of players in battling.
What?
Probably. I don't know. Like I finished a season in the top 500 players in the world.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was 20th in the world for a day.
Really?
I was on page 1 of the leaderboard.
What did you win? What's your favorite Pokemon to play?
It changes with the meta.
Okay. But what if you had to guess? Like if you had to pick one.
To play, I don't know if I have one. I have like favorite Pokemon in my collection.
Yeah, what?
Do you want to see?
Sure. It's wild that you have a food podcast when like you are also so obsessed with Pokemon.
So hitting legend is like the biggest accomplishment you can do in battling.
Yeah.
And it basically like there's like an ELO ranking system or MMR.
Electric Light Orchestra?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you pass 3,000, you hit legend. And every time you hit legend, you get one encounter with a Pikachu in a Lucha Libre costume.
Oh, shit.
In standard Pokemon Go, it's about 1 in 450 odds of encountering a Pokemon in its shiny form.
Oh, okay.
So if I find a 450 Snorlaxes, one of them has one of them might be shiny. I might find one shiny.
Yeah.
And with that Pikachu, they released it shiny after 5 seasons. They're like, all right, from now on, this encounter you get once every 3 months might be shiny. And in my second try, I got it's like an orange Pikachu instead of a gold
shit.
or a yellow.
Beach Break is the
I
name.
named him Beach Break because I'm a big pro wrestling fan. He's orange, and Orange Cassidy has a finishing move called Beach Break.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so it's like a super rare. Like you could buy that Pikachu from someone selling theirs on eBay, and at one point it was like $2,000. I think now you can probably get one for like $600 or $700. But like,
have you ever sold any of your Pokemon or no?
it requires you to like cheat. You have to like geo spoof your location to someone to trade with them, and you can get banned that way. And I don't want to risk that.
Gotcha. You're too much of okay.
But if you buy them on eBay and someone spoofs to you, like I've bought Pokemon off of eBay for sure. But that one I earned.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I hit Legend, I got the shiny.
Yeah.
It is. I could trade that. You can only trade Pokemon once. So once it's been traded, you can't trade it again.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tradable Pokemon for me because I earned it.
That's right.
So just the fact that it was like achievement based plus rarity.
Yeah. That must feel pretty good.
That's my shit right there.
You should have that on your on your belt as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to our next segment
Let's
here.
do
Thank
it.
you so much for that. We're going to do a little game called the Wild Wheel.
Great.
Where we are going to spin this little wheel here.
Can we call it Buffalo Wild Wheels for this?
We can. Yeah, we definitely can. We're going to
Great.
call it Buffalo Wild Wheels.
Great.
We might even change the podcast name to that.
Tie into my chain
Right.
fascination.
So we have various. If you look on the screen here, if you're not watching, you should definitely go on our YouTube. You can. We're going to spin this wheel. You and I will both spin this wheel. We have various topics and segments, and we're going to play the segments that I have pre-planned for that.
Great.
So if you would please do the honors. Give it a mighty spin for this, because it's a little stiff up the top there. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Bet it is.
All right. It's landing on Wild Opinion.
Wild opinion.
Okay, so this is where we have to say our wildest opinions. Do you have a rant or a potential thing that you are hot?
I mean,
I
I have an opinion. I'm not sure I have a rant on it.
Okay.
But you could get me juiced up if you ask me the right question.
Let's hear it.
I will defend to the ends of the earth Outback Steakhouse.
To the ends of the earth.
I think
Is
Outback,
anybody fighting you on this? Like, is this a thing people are like, hey, you're wrong?
I've heard it as a punchline. I've heard Outback Steakhouse in that breath with Applebee's and with Sizzler.
It's way above Applebee's.
It's so above it.
Oh my gosh. Last time I was in an Applebee's, there was a karaoke.
Yeah.
And it was the saddest karaoke I've ever seen, man.
I took this championship belt with Outback 2023 on it, as on the side plate for the winner of September last year.
Okay.
I took this to I'll call it a real burger joint, to a non-chain.
Like a Carl's Jr.
Yeah. I took it to a place in Toluca Lake that I really like called Foreman's Whiskey Tavern.
Okay.
And they have a jalapeno burger that is my favorite burger in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there and I was like, hey, I'm doing this tournament. I'm looking for sponsors from a place that's like actually just a great burger, but isn't a chain.
Mm-hmm.
And I will present every episode through the lens of like, hey, brought to you by.
Yeah. Oh,
this.
nice. Yeah, there you go.
And they did not bite. And part of it is the woman I talked to looked at my belt and noticed Outback won.
Ew.
Outback won last year.
That's disgusting.
That was her viewpoint. Yeah.
Her opinion.
And I don't want to put this place on blast in like a
Blast it.
I'm still
Blast
no.
it.
Because I
Say
still
it.
love the place and I
Say-
will go there. But like just that vibe of, oh, you're putting disrespect on the idea of Outback Steakhouse and you don't even know. Look, I get that there are better steakhouses and I don't go to Outback when I want a steak.
Yeah.
I go to Outback when I want a burger and when I want the greatest appetizer in chain restaurants, the Bloomin' Onion. And when you have a Bloom burger where you take Bloom sauce and Bloomin' Onion petals and put it on a burger, I'm tweaking a little bit, My nips are getting a little hard.
There's nothing better than a blooming onion burger, but also just a blooming onion in general. You go in there and it's like, yeah, is Australia really a culture that maybe we want to embrace? Considering that it was
It was started in Florida.
It was
Outback comes from Florida.
which makes and it makes sense. Like put a shrimp on the Barbie. Who doesn't love a good shrimp on the Barbie? You know, Bloomin' Onion, is that inherently Outback? No, it makes no sense.
No.
Is it about it really? Are there kangaroos involved?
I love
in
that
there?
you agree with me enough that you're kind of doing the rant for me.
I agree so much.
But like, hey, I mean, this is like tag team shit right here. This is a wrestling fan of me. I tagged
well,
out.
do I disagree that it's as far as fine dining, like steak places is definitely one of the best.
When you say fine, you mean fine in quotes the way I do it, right?
I would say fine as in like, I'm in a small town
Yeah.
and this is the nicest place that we have.
Yeah.
That would be a fine dining.
Look, I've had 3 birthdays at Outback. My 16th birthday, super sweet 16. My 33rd birthday, and one of the ones on my 20. I don't remember which one.
Okay.
But like,
nice.
but like, I unironically love Outback.
Yes.
And I feel like it doesn't get the respect.
What do you love about it? Is it the food, the vibe?
Like, they've got a kind of shitty but still kind of good table bread that I'm just like, look,
It's good table bread.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I have a list of all the places that are in the consideration for best table bread, and I'm going to do a compilation video
Nice.
on Instagram and TikTok that's just rating all of them.
November bread.
November bread.
Yeah, there you go. December bread.
Breadtober.
October bread fest.
Marbridge. Yeah.
Panuary.
Okay. All right. We're both a quarter Mexican. We can get away with pronouncing pan.
Panera.
Yeah.
What I like about Outback is that it doesn't rely too heavily on its theme, like a TGI Friday.
What does it even have to offer? You throw a boomerang on the wall, and that's about it. Maybe a picture of a kangaroo and like the Mount Uluru, like that rock.
What they should have is prisoners
And a
serving.
didgeridoo.
Everybody should be
Honestly,
British.
they kind of already do.
Fed.
That's the vibe you get.
Yeah, that's probably in the kitchen. It's they're the criminals inside the kitchen.
Outback was my very first episode of the podcast, and similar to what happened with us at Houston's today, we showed up with notebooks, and the manager noticed that they're being reviewed.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen nearly as often as I expected doing the show because, I have this notebook with me every single restaurant I go to.
Uh-huh.
The manager saw and was like, I'm being reviewed.
They tried to get you out of there.
No. Came over and the server didn't bring us bread plates.
Oh, shit.
And we got a bloomin' onion and there were still no serving plates. It was just like, do I eat right off this? And the manager comes over, is everything to your liking? And I was like, yeah, everything's good. We never got bread plates. He's like, oh. And he turns around and I don't know if he's talking to himself or about his server or to us, but just goes, stupid. I've never seen that before.
That's
where
weird.
Someone hits themselves in the head and goes, stupid.
Like a Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Don't.
I didn't know that was a thing non-cartoons
Yeah,
did.
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
All right, my turn to spin. Here we go.
Yeah.
News, wild news. This is a new segment here. We're going to read some wild news, and
I misread this. I thought you said nudes.
It's wild nudes.
So the things that I prepared are very different.
We're going to get naked here.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of naked, actually, this one's relevant. A game developer demanded a naked sauna session with employees.
What?
Here we go. Let's read this story here. Ooh, I'm going to need to
Enlarge.
Speaking of naked.
Naked. Use a pump.
A Polish game developer studio by the name
Polish. This checks out.
Speaking of, okay, so name of Spectrum Studios may have found itself in a steamy situation, quite literally. After
they were, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt at every moment.
Yeah,
they were so proud of that.
Oh,
the person who wrote this came up with steamy situation.
This is the worst part about reading news. Well, first off, news articles, websites are the worst.
Yeah,
but some of them think they're very clever.
This definitely wasn't written by AI, though.
Yeah. Well, you never know. After it had published a recruitment advertisement with a bizarre request to attend naked sauna sessions with the entire team, which, as far as recruitment, I don't know if hanging out with a bunch of nerdy engineers would be something that I would want to. Well, I guess it depends.
But it might help build your confidence if you're like, oh, I'm so much better off than these weak-chested individuals.
I wonder what is the incentive? Like, hey, you're a game developer. You're probably not good at social skills.
Look, you don't see a lot of naked people. We'll bring them to you.
That's
now what I will say on this already. It's a recruitment.
Yeah.
So at the very least, it's not like a bait and switch where you get the job and then they're like, hey, actually.
Yeah.
Strip down, jump in this hot room.
Yeah.
At least it's forthcoming. It's like those people that post roommate ads and it's like, must be a single female 25.
Yes.
Not okay with you having male friends over.
Yes,
you have to clean and cook and like, I don't like pants, like that kind of guy.
No pants. Yeah. Somebody who's clearly just trying to find a live-in girlfriend.
Yeah.
At least now we know how many Polish game developers it takes to have a HR complaint. All right, let's give it a spin. Another spin.
Is this me?
Yes. Wild
Question.
questions. All right, here's a question for you. Here's a wild question for you. Here we go.
Is that an actual top hat?
It is an actual.
Are you a
topic.
magician?
I am. I just pulled this out of a hat. Have you ever made a New Year's resolution that lasted less than a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it?
This isn't that interesting. I wanted to like make myself read an hour a day. It lasted 3 days.
An hour a day?
I'm just not a big reader.
What were you trying to read? The first
books.
Okay, so a book, but you wouldn't count like the news, like a news article.
No. I mean, I definitely consume an hour of reading a day, but not like books.
I mean, like if you're counting Twitter, right? Like I could do that for like an hour every day. That technically counts. But you wanted to do books.
No, but in the completely opposite vein, I have had many New Year's resolutions that last the whole year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
2022, I did the entire year where I only drank water. Like that was the only thing I was allowed to drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And do you consider yourself sober, or was that like just a thing you were
I've never drank.
You've never
drank alcohol.
You never had alcohol ever.
No.
So that's pretty easy then. You just like didn't drink milk for a year?
No, but I like soda. Like it's like
I
it's
see.
like to cut down on like sugar.
Okay. Now, did you make any qualifications? Like you could do
Seltzer
soda,
water is fine. Like I would
seltzer water.
Yeah.
Did you put like lemon in it?
Yeah. I mean, like I had a lot of like LaCroix, Perrier.
At one
stuff
point,
like
does
that,
water become juice?
when it has sugar in it? Well, juice is like, a sugar content and like juiced from a fruit.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't even have like Liquid Death has flavored versions.
Oh, yeah.
And they have 3 grams of sugar, and I wouldn't have those.
Oh, shit.
So I'd only have the ones that like when you look at the ingredients.
Did you
it's
lose a
0.
lot of weight?
No. I mean, because I was doing this podcast too.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's 2022.
So that was 2022. 2023, I gave up any food that was delivered. Like I
No DoorDash.
if I want food, I have to go get it.
Okay.
Yeah. Great on my wallet. And I stuck with that. And I also had it that like I could only have fast food once a month. And I could only have a drink that wasn't water.
And you're still doing
once a week.
the show too, though.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You have pretty strong will.
And last year, I set the New Year's resolution of by the end of the year, I'm going to run a marathon. And December 10th, 2023, I ran the Honolulu Marathon.
Damn. What's your resolution this year? Do you have one?
I have failed it.
Really? What was it? No Nut November or what?
No. I was actually thinking of doing No Nut November for the podcast and like just I can't eat nuts.
That's good.
That's
That's really good.
but like I only do 2 restaurants a month, so it's like it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
What was it?
You don't remember?
I don't remember because I failed it in like February. I think it was moving from I can only have fast food once. Like to me, fast food is a place that has a drive-through.
Yeah.
It was I have to cook all but 3 meals of my week.
Okay. So you were allowed 3 fast foods or going out?
3 going out whatsoever.
Wow.
But like I do a restaurant podcast. I'm literally addicted to eating out. I love going out to eat.
No, okay, we're gonna spin this. Here we go. Woo! I get a question here. You draw a question for me.
Do you think you would be an excellent teammate to have on The Amazing Race?
Oh my God. All right. I have a lot of opinions about this, actually. I think
I like how you're raising your hand like I'm going to call on you.
Teacher,
Yeah.
I think I would fucking crush it. I've never watched one episode of that, but I do feel like I would be a really good reality TV
Can I tell you something?
competition star. Yeah. What's up?
Just your vibe.
Yeah.
You strike me as the type of person who is confident that you would be good at anything.
Well, you don't know me very well.
Okay. This is just a vibe thing.
Yeah.
You have a sleeve.
Yeah.
You have tattoos. So I'm just like, oh, this guy knows.
Yeah.
He believes in himself.
I don't believe. No, that's the thing. I don't believe in myself in a lot of things, actually. But I do feel when it comes to survival and like self-reliance and will, that's something I can fucking nail. I don't.
Do you mean that in like a literal survivalist expert? Like
Yes.
you're left in the woods, you'd be fine.
Oh, I believe I could be. I think I could last longer than most.
I would fail so quickly in the wilderness.
I feel like I have subconsciously been planning on the world ending in my lifetime since I was a child.
I was really banking on 2012. I was just like, God, there's so many
Oh, buddy.
expectations I have to live up to.
Yeah.
Because I was 24?
Yeah.
That's like right when it's like, oh, the real world is starting for you, buddy. I don't want to. I like school lunches.
Well, speaking of planning it being over, I didn't plan on living past 27. But that's only because I thought I was going to be a rock star and be a part of the Forever 27 kids.
And then you realize you're like, I don't like the taste of
today
heroin.
is literally I've lived 10 years past that. So here we are.
37?
In a podcast. Yes, I am.
I'm going to be 36 this year. So
congrats, dude. Mid-30s. Hell yeah, dude. High five. High five.
My shoulder hurts literally from doing that.
But I do think I'd be really good at The Amazing Race. I've never watched an episode, but I feel like you just fucking travel. That seems so easy.
Yeah.
See what's the rate? Oh, yeah, I would kill it.
I don't even know enough about the premise of the show.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you just like backpack around places and it's not even Survivor. You know, you just do it.
It's just like, can you travel without a travel agent?
Yeah. I think that's pretty easy. All right, you go ahead. Flowers. This is a good one.
I don't want to do this one. There's just like
there's no one you would want to do. There's no one you would want to do.
Well, based on your explanation, it was random. There's so many people in my phone I don't even know.
It's not random.
Oh.
You just got to do it.
I kind of live my life that way. I give people their flowers actively.
Sure.
Like this isn't going to be a big departure for me.
Sure.
Text someone or what?
You could text them or call them. And we have to see the reaction. If you text them, you just got to let us know if they respond.
And I just pick a person?
Yes. Wildflowers, which means you're going to text or call somebody on your phone and give them their flowers.
Like how in depth?
You can say, I love you. Hey, I just want to let you know I love you.
There's so many people where if I just randomly was like, I love you, they'd be like, what?
Yeah. Or be like, hey man, hey person, I really think you're very talented.
Can I do the guy who runs the cleaning service that just came and cleaned my house the other day?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. To be like, you guys did a beautiful job.
Why not? That's sounds amazing.
No, I feel like I could do something that's more genuine.
You can skip.
It's funny because there's also people I'm looking at and I was like, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve this right now.
Why don't they deserve it?
They're just not on their game. They're not living a life where I want to like reinforce where they're at.
Okay.
Like they have so much more potential.
That could be their flowers. Hey, I think you could have more potential.
I think you could do more than what you're doing.
I think you could do
that
better.
That puts them in a depression spiral.
You could pass if you want. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Okay.
Because like I am genuinely pretty consistent about giving people their flowers in my life. Okay. Like I let people know that they matter to me. And like when they're doing something cool, I let them know. Mm-hmm. It would feel disingenuous to do this in a moment of being put on the spot.
Why don't you spin it
again? It's going to come up again. I know how this works.
Wild guess. Here we go. This is a fun one. Here we go. All right. I'm going to ask you a question here. And you have to guess how they are related.
Is this like the connections game from New York Times?
It's a little bit of like that. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that.
Okay.
But now I say that I'm going to suck.
Okay. I'm going to say some names and you're going to let me know how they're related.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Uh-huh.
Farrah Fawcett.
All right.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Owen Wilson. And Laura Bush. What do these people all have in common?
I mean, did they all go to University of Texas?
That is correct. They all went to University of Texas, which is also...
I'm from Austin.
Where you went?
Where I went.
To University of Texas. What was that like?
It was... college was weird for me because I started college pursuing something entirely different. I wanted to be an orchestral percussionist. I got into a conservatory in New York City.
Yeah.
I was like on reserve for Juilliard. I was like, I got to the live audition phase, which not too many people get to do.
Holy shit.
And like I was, I had a relationship with some of the teachers there. So
that's
like
crazy.
They had an awareness of who I was. I didn't make it, but I was close.
Yeah.
I did get into Manhattan School of Music and went there my freshman year of college.
Damn.
And I wasn't ready for like adult life responsibilities.
Yeah.
I spent most of that year just playing Rock Band, and I became the number 3 drummer on the PlayStation Network on Rock Band.
What the
That's
fuck?
like on the leaderboard. I was number 3
as a drummer.
Because
you're a percussionist, which makes sense.
But I learned drum set from Rock Band.
That's crazy.
I never played drum set. I just played percussion instruments.
I actually think I know how to play some guitar solos because of Guitar Hero, and I've never played a song.
Anyways, this is my answer to how I like University of Texas.
But that's what I was going to say. You were a percussion major, percussion.
Yeah.
University of Texas, where you got a film major.
Right. So I transferred back to University of Texas after I decided that honestly, it was cutting my losses. I had a dream of being in like one of the top 10 symphonies in the world. Chicago being my like number one with a bullet. I wanted to be a percussionist in the Chicago Symphony.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think it was realistically going to happen because I went from, I was the number one percussionist
On Rock Band.
at the All-State audition in Texas my junior year of high school. I was first in state.
That's crazy.
And I went from being really good to going, and now I'm in a percussion section with 11 percussionists within a 6-year age range, undergrad and graduate.
Who are amazing.
And I was last.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I've heard of this.
it was just like, I am a freshman and like there is room for growth, but I just didn't believe that I could surpass them to be the type of player that would win an audition and be better than not just these 10 people, but people of all age ranges and all these different top institutions. So it was kind of cutting my losses.
Yeah.
I do think if I had the discipline and the focus to maybe avoid the distraction of like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, but like, I'm in New York City. I'm 18 years old.
And you just had to play guitar, Rock Band.
Dude, I loved Guitar
I'm
Hero.
in New York City. I'm 18 years old, and I'm living it up on Rock Band.
I'm staying in my 18-foot by 7-foot dorm.
I can't wait.
It was like a tube in the sky.
I love that.
And just playing.
It sounds like you
and
are
my downstairs neighbors hated me.
a little obsessive.
I am very
actually.
obsessive. It's the reason I don't drink.
It actually seems like you're maybe not autistic,
which
which is part of maybe being, but you have a level of like you need.
Well, I also
to
have
be,
ADHD.
You need to be a level of like
I need
obsessive
stimulation
to a number.
Well, I need stimulation of like something.
But it sounds like you collect things.
Yes.
You are competitive to be. You need to have to rise to the top there.
Yeah.
And not because of like necessarily like you want to be the best because you just proved that you were willing to cut your losses.
Yeah.
But because you wanted that number, you wanted to be that level.
I really did.
Which seems
I'm
like
very achievement driven.
which there you go.
Yeah.
Which seems like it's more of a check mark rather than a goal. Like I need to check this off rather than I want to be that.
I know, but I do want to be that.
Oh, I see.
But to me, it is a step to getting there. Like the checklist is the step to
there
getting there.
just seems to be a level of like I want to
Yeah, I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test.
There it is.
You know this, right?
That's you. That's you, man.
Pokemon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do. I'm gonna do my spin.
Well, and then transferring to University of Texas.
Oh yeah. With a film major.
Well, so I went in through as a percussionist, which I do feel a little disingenuous about because if I'm leaving New York, I think it should have been obvious that I was going to be transitioning out of music, and I kind of burned a bridge with like one of my long-term teachers.
Oh.
Because I think he expected me to stay in percussion.
Okay.
And so I was kind of directionless for a bit. I experienced my first bout of depression, not knowing like I spent 7 years being obsessed with music. From the time I started piano in kindergarten, I loved it. My parents never had to make me practice or anything.
Oh, wow.
I just loved playing music.
Okay.
And
That's crazy.
so I did feel like this big part of my identity was lost. And so, had some depression, had some medical issues. I ended up spending a month in the hospital with severe Crohn's disease.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that took a while to get under control.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that that's like
it's ulcers in your colon. But it can have different levels of severity.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And that's through like stress and shit like that you
No, not necessarily.
You just had it. You just got it.
They actually just had a breakthrough where they found like the gene that can like cause whatever. But anyways, so I had this like whole thing where I'm floating through college, not knowing what I'm doing, skipping a lot of classes because I don't have a passion anymore. But while I was skipping those classes, a buddy of mine and I were meeting up and writing scripts for a web series we wanted to make. We never ended up filming it, but I was just like, oh, I should look into the film school if what I'm doing with my free time while I'm skipping class is writing scripts.
Yeah.
So got in through there and then graduated, came out here. And that's been the deal.
Okay, here we go. Last spin. Wild guess. Oh, shit. Do you have one for me?
I do.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
What was the very first fast food restaurant? You just want like interesting trivia, right?
Yeah.
Or is this supposed to be like about you?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Well, typically I make them about the guest. So my first answer was going to say your mom.
Yeah.
Second one.
She's watching right
Hi. Let's see. First fast food restaurant, like a chain, like it would be a name
it's
that
a name
I know.
You would know.
Okay. Then I would say,
it's over 100 years.
Over 100. Subway.
I'll hone in on a region. I don't know if this helps, but out of Wichita, Kansas.
Well, Wichita, Kansas.
It's a burger place.
I was going to say, is it Harvey's, Carl's Jr.'s?
Mm-mm.
Burger King?
Nope.
Jack in the Box.
Worse.
There is nothing worse than Jack in the Box.
There is.
White Castle?
Yep.
White Castle was the first fast food restaurant.
1916 is when they started selling burgers, and 1921, I think, is when they had their first store. But what's funny about White Castle, and I could be butchering this because it's been like a month since I filmed my episode on it. The White Castle slider was created out of rage. It was a guy trying to perfect a meatball recipe, got so frustrated with it because it wasn't working and smashed it flat, put it on a bun and ate it, and was like, that's not bad. It was bad. White Castle sucks.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's probably only have gotten better because they were like, hey, somebody's doing it better than us.
But like, I understand why he hated his meatballs.
Wait, is
he's
that
bad at making meat?
Is that the inception of the
White
burger?
Castle slide? No, but of the White Castle slider.
So,
yes.
Okay. So they just was like, he was a meatball, and then he was just like, I'm upset. And it's like, it started.
Oh,
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how like
It's like penicillin.
it's so hard to have a breakthrough idea today.
Yeah.
But back then,
It was so
few ideas had been had yet.
It was just a burger that.
I just gotta get mad at my meatball and make the worst plague upon fast food.
It's one of those great accidental discoveries. When I think of like penicillin was discovered when they left some germs open and with an open window. And then there's the White Castle burger was when somebody got mad at a meatball.
Yep.
Amazing. The 20th century is amazing. And you've been an amazing guest.
Thank you.
Michael. Thank
I've
you
had a
so
lot of
much.
fun.
Yeah, of course. I think we've been hanging out for like almost all day today. It's been such a chill. Can't wait to do your show, which is fine dining and the quest for the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. Please let people know where people can find it or anything else you want to plug.
Obviously, I would love you to go to linktree.com/fine dining podcast. It might not be up by the time this episode comes out, but I will have a September bracket available for you to fill out and submit back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then all you got to do, and by the way, wait until the first week of September to fill it out.
Oh,
like the first episode of September, the brackets are due after it. So you can get 2 freebie answers.
There you go.
So you don't go out in the first round.
Already getting your first hack right there.
And fill it out. Winner. If you get your bracket correct, you'll be put in a drawing with anyone else who got their bracket correct.
Mm-hmm.
$500. All you got to do is listen to 5 podcast episodes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really good deal.
Opening week, and then I've got a Shake Shack, a White Castle, and a In-N-Out episode coming out that month. And then on Patreon, which you can check it out for free on Patreon, I do the semifinals and finals. And we'll crown the 2024 winner and the holder of this championship belt.
Hell yeah.
For September.
Hell yeah. Well, everybody go please check that out. And if you enjoy the show, leave a like and a comment on YouTube. It really helps us out. And subscribe. We have a brand new shiny brand new YouTube channel that we've been trying to grow. And where we put some shorts with some extra B-roll. And it's been a lot of fun. And if you're listening, please leave a 5-star review on whatever platform you listen to. It really helps us out. I listen to those. And sometimes if you leave a wild story, I will read them on this show. So please check that out. Michael, if you'll do me the favor.
No. You have to do me the favor.
Do me the favor. We're going to look down the barrel of that camera right there.
Yeah.
And we're going to say that was wild on the count of 3. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. That was wild!
It's time to get wild.